That is good. Piece of bannock. Feels like years since I've had bannock. It's been a long time anyway. And that is good. Cooked in that bacon grease. Nothing like it. I feel like if a guy walks all the way out here, collects some wood, builds a fire, he should be able to treat himself, right? And this is a treat. Thanks for joining me. So, what I thought we'd talk about today is bushcraft gear. The gear that we take with us out in the woods. And gear that I don't regret buying. We've all been down that path of buying things that we don't really need or we don't really have a use for, but we buy it because we've seen it, it looks cool. We've all done it. I'm the first to admit it. But I've had all the gear that I'm going to talk about today for quite a while. I do use it. I have no regrets. I think they're all wise purchases. And that's part of the reason why I like doing reviews, because I can share my viewpoint with you guys and maybe help you avoid buying something that you don't really need or something that isn't really the quality that you need. And some of the gear I'm going to talk about today is a bit pricey. So you want to have your eyes wide open when you're making the purchase. And speaking about price, I don't buy it all brand new. Some of it I trade with other people so I can get a really good deal. Some of it I buy used. There's lots of places on the internet you can buy used gear. Facebook Marketplace, there's groups on Facebook you can buy used gear. That's always a good avenue to look for gear that, you know, is it maybe a bit out of your price range. You can buy the used item and you'll be just as happy, because a lot of times it's very well taken care of. So let's get started. And you know, perhaps the most familiar thing to you guys is this anorak. I've had this anorak now for I think coming up on 7 years. Sorry, 6 years. I've had this for 6 years. Boreal Mountain Anorak's anorak. And this is one of the best pieces of gear I've ever purchased. You've seen it in dozens of my videos. I wear it all the time. It's just fantastic. And you know, it's really held up. It's really held up and it performs great. You know, I had it out last week. It started raining. It got a little bit wet. No problem. It still kept me warm for the hike out. And you know, it's none the worse for wear. I did a review on this quite a few years ago and it still remains the same. It's just an awesome piece of gear. And when I say I don't have any regrets about purchasing this, this is the third wool anorak that I purchased. I purchased 2 others from different companies and I returned them. I was not happy with the quality. So finally I bought this one. I bought it in the middle of July. It was a hot day. I just pulled the trigger and I bought it. No regrets. This anorak from Boreal Mountain Anoraks, if you're out and about in the wintertime, even fall or spring, early spring, you won't regret having one of these. Really good piece of gear, and I count clothing as gear and equipment. It's your first line of defense against the elements. Get yourself one of these if you can. I just love mine, and I imagine I'm going to keep wearing this for years and years to come. Alright, let's talk about knives. Everybody's favorite topic when it comes to bushcraft tools. And it can be kind of a controversial topic because everybody has an opinion. And everybody's opinion is valid. Everybody has a idea of how much they should spend on a knife. What makes a perfect knife? You know, how many knives do you need? And I have quite a few. I've said before, I'm not a collector of knives. As it turns out, I'm a collector of knives. I have quite a few. Some of them I probably will never use because they hold some sentimental value to me, or I bought them as a collector piece. But a nice bushcraft knife is a joy to use. And you don't need anything custom. This is from Rob Evans, his MK Tribute knife. It's a gorgeous knife, very simple, made according to the parameters of Morris Kohansky's views on what makes a perfect knife. I did a review on this. I'll link this at the end. It's a gorgeous knife. Now, do you need a knife like this? Once again, they're expensive. No. Morris Kohansky himself was known to use a Mora #1 quite often. He even used and made knives made from old saw blades with hockey stick handles. And he could probably outperform almost everybody with his knife skills. So no, you don't need a fancy bushcraft knife, but sometimes you just want something pretty. And it feels good when you pick it up in your hands. And, you know, it performs well. I mean, you can get them with super steels now. This is only 01 steel. I like CPM 3V, probably my favorite steel. It's a nice balance. But a bushcraft knife from a custom maker is a beautiful thing because it's made by hand, it's made with a lot of thought, and you're supporting a small business, which is something cool as well. One comment that I always get is that your knife looks like brand new, it's never used. Well, it's well used. I just take very good care of it. You know, I take very good care of it. Beautiful leather sheath right here. You can see it has some wear on the sheath, but I regularly treat this, and just a gorgeous set. I love it. While you're watching this video, make a comment down below. What's your favorite bushcraft knife? Is it a Mora #1? Is it a Mora Companion? Is it something from LT Wright? Something more exotic than that? Write down below what your favorite bushcraft knife is. I'd like to know. I have a few more ideas for knife videos. I'm going to do them in the future. But would you like to see a video showing my entire collection? It's not very extensive, but if you want to see a video showing my knife collection, let me know in the comments down below. A bushcraft knife. It's fun, just a whittle on a stick. They're very useful for food prep. You need a knife out here, you might as well have a pretty one. So one tool I think you really need out here is an axe, and you more importantly need how to use your axe safely. Now I have a lot of axes. I should do a video on my axe collection as well, but you really need a decent axe out here. You need a sharp axe, and you need to learn how to use it. Now I have a lot of axes. Some of them are axe heads that I literally found in the garbage. Some of them I bought at flea markets, yard sales, things like that. Quite a few of them I've bought as well, and there's a really beautiful one I received as a gift. I'll show you that one in my axe video. But this one here is a very, very common one. You know, the ubiquitous Grants Forest Brooks small forest axe. And perhaps it's one of my most used axes, I'd say. It's a beautiful size. You can use it one hand, you can use it two hands, and they are just beautifully done. I mean, the handles are nice and slim, although some people would say that they're still too thick, but I like a slim handle. The profile is very slender. You can get it as sharp as a laser beam. And I actually did a video on axe care and maintenance. Maybe some of you have seen it, although I've never actually reviewed this axe. It was part of that video, axe care and maintenance. Now once again, not an inexpensive piece of equipment. Do I regret buying this? Not at all. Not at all. These are, I think, the finest mass-produced axe out there. I'm talking mass produced. Kind you can just go on Amazon and buy and it's at your home the next day. You can't go wrong with a good Grand Force Brooks axes. They make them for specific purposes as well. If you look after them, they will last you a long time. And one nice thing about buying an axe like this, or Hults Brook, or Hultifors, or anything like that, is if you do break the handle, you can order one, have one at your house within a couple days, and it will fit very easily. It'll be perfect for the head that you bought it for. Okay, Grand Force Brooks axes. I have 3 of them now. I don't regret buying any one of them. Get yourself a good axe. Doesn't have to be Grand Force Brooks, but if you do spring for one, you won't regret it. One tool you need out here, you're going to use it more than you think, is a good quality multi-tool. Now, I'm partial to Leatherman, although there are many out there. They make really good quality tools. This is the Leatherman Charge. I think it's the best one that Leatherman makes. I have 3 Leathermans altogether, but I really like the Leatherman Charge, mainly because the knives in it are accessible with one hand. There's a serrated, non-serrated. There is a little saw that I can use for crafting. And there's also a little file for wood and metal. I actually rehandled a hatchet using only this multi-tool. There was a saw for cutting the kerf. You know, I was able to use the pliers and the file and the knife to shave down the handle. And never discount how often you're going to use a pair of pliers out here for handling hot pots, many different things. There's wire cutters on here. There's many other tools. A can opener comes in handy. But to be honest, I use the scissors quite a bit. I've used them for band-aids and things like that. They're very handy. A good pair of scissors on a multi-tool is a good thing to have. Again, multi-tools, a good quality multi-tool is not an inexpensive thing to buy. But I've had this for more than 10 years for sure. Maybe close to 15. I can't tell you exactly, but it's over 10 years for sure. It's still in very good condition. Getting a little bit loose. Maybe I need to go in there and retighten things up. But the Leatherman Charge, I recommend this one. So let's talk about clothing once again. We already talked about the anorak. Now these gloves from Hestra, they're the Lars Fault guide gloves. I have had dozens of questions about these gloves. Where did you get the gloves? And if someone knows what these gloves are, they ask me, are they worth it? They are worth it. I've had these for 5-7 years, I'm not sure. They're high quality leather with goat leather as well. And they're extremely comfortable. You order these by your actual glove size, so you can order them size 7, 8, 9, even half sizes, I believe. So you measure your hand, it's going to fit you perfectly. I have a lot of dexterity when using these gloves. And one thing that I think is really important when it comes to your gloves and also even your winter boots is a removable liner. These have a removable liner. So you can take the liner out, dry it, put it back in. They're actually a pretty warm glove. You know, I'm very happy with these gloves. You know, would I buy another pair? I would buy another pair right away if I lost these gloves. That's how much I love them. And one thing I regret not doing when I bought these is buying a second pair of liners. I did not buy a second pair of liners because that would be very helpful. You take one pair of liners out, dry them off, put the other ones in. But even with the removable liners, they don't come out on you when you're taking the gloves on and off. They stay put, which is really nice. And they're held in just with a little bit of Velcro at the top. So these are size 10. They fit me perfectly. Excellent pair of gloves. If you're looking for a good pair of gloves, I recommend these Hestra Lars Fault guide gloves. So you have all your gear, you have all your goodies, you need something to put them in so you can get out into the woods. You need a pack. Now, this one here is the Frost River Isle Royale Junior. It's absolutely amazing. Now, it's one of those things that I did not pay full retail for. I traded a few items for it, I believe, so I got it secondhand. But these things are so sturdy and well made that you could buy them secondhand and you'll have no issues whatsoever. If you take care of one of these, it's an heirloom piece. You'll be able to pass it down to your kids. I did do a full review on this several years back, but it has quite a few features I really like. Long straps. It has 2 pockets up front. I use them for water bottles usually. There's a pair of gloves in the bottom there as well. Nice ample pockets. It also has an axe sleeve, which I absolutely love. Fits the small forest axe just beautifully. It has pockets on the side with webbing that you can snug down to keep everything nice and compact. D-rings up top. You can tie things to the bottom. You know, it's just something that I just feel good every time I put it on. Not because it's comfortable. It's not very comfortable. It's extremely heavy, but you can't go wrong with a bunch of wax, canvas, leather, and brass. It's just an amazing backpack. If you can find one on the secondary market at a good price, pick it up. If you want to pay full retail, it's probably still worth it. It's a true heirloom piece. It's going to last for generations if you look after it. Alright guys, it's time for me to get out of here. I've spent the entire day out in the woods just relaxing. It's been awesome. And the reason why I did this video is because I've had so many questions on the items that I talked about today. I just want to show them to you once again, explain that I've used these items for years and years and years, most of them, and I'm still using them. I'm still in love with them. Some of them I bought secondhand. I suggest you do the same. Keep your eyes open on the secondary market. Sometimes you can get a really good bargain. You know, you don't have to spend top dollar. Just get something reliable. Get yourself out in the woods and enjoy nature. That's actually what I recommend the most. So I'll leave links to where I've bought some of this gear. I'll leave links to the videos that I've done as reviews on all these items. You can check them out as well. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate that. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.